but Denver moving on to the playoffs. In the second round, they gotta play OKC. They won game one already, y'all. They stole game one. That was a steal. OKC was up
Mhm.
the whole game, and they
Mhm.
folded in the end of the game. Chat missed 2 free throws down the stretch. The coach fouled 2 quick fouls at the end of the game that allow only 1.5 seconds off the clock, and they got 4 points off that, which is crazy. And Eric Gordon hits a game-winning three, assisted by your one
Russell.
truly, Russell
Mhm.
Westbrook. All right, so Carl, you gonna kick this off because you talking about coaches? What you say?
Goat Kitch.
Gokic. Gokic. So Carl, who are you picking? I mean, we all know who you riding with, but who are you rolling with in this series? Is it the Nuggets or OKC?
I picked the Thunder. I did. I did pick the Thunder to win the series. I thought defensively the Thunder would be a lot to handle for Denver. I feel like they can make Jamal Murray struggle, which Jamal Murray actually had a pretty good game if I remember correctly last night. But like you said, yesterday was a steal. And it was all due to Nikola Jokic. 42 points, 22 rebounds, 6 assists. That's an insane stat line. And he looked almost unstoppable in that second half. He was just a man possessed in the second half. He willed the Nuggets to a close game, and then Aaron Gordon helped close with 2 clutch free throws and that clutch three late in the ball game. Um, Russell Westbrook, he was out there flying around. They had 5 fouls, but flying around 1 for 5 from three. That definitely has to, that can't be consistent. But I think that's more so of a regression to the mean. You can't expect Russ to shoot as well as he did from three in the first series throughout the entirety of the playoffs. But all in all, they stole that game. I do think that the Thunder showed that they may be too much to handle. They just collapsed. And I don't see them collapsing 3 more games. I do see the Nuggets winning some games. But if the Thunder go up 20, 9 times out of 10, they'll bring that home. I think I have OKC in like 5 or 6. I'm going to stick with 6. But yeah, I think defensively is the reason why I have OKC in this one.
Mm. I'm wrong with OKC too. You know, OKC is a team I picked to win the championship, and I got them winning in 7. I got OKC winning in 7. And when I look at the matchup with OKC and the Nuggets, I feel like OKC has more of a complete team, like I thought the Clippers did with the Nuggets. I'm sorry, with the Nuggets. But one thing about OKC, they make you pay for every mistake you make. They force a lot of turnovers, and they will capitalize on those turnovers. They run, like I think I said on the last show or 2 shows ago, that when you play against youngins, like now I'm 34 years old, right? And it's like when I still run up and down, but I get tired a little quicker than I used to be. You know what I mean? I used to when I was 17, 18, 16, right? OKC is like those 16, 17, 18-year-olds who can hoop just like the 35-year-olds, but they got all the stamina in the world. They running up and down. They trying to run you out the gym. That's what OKC is. But the Nuggets have the championship pedigree. So a lot of people are not picking OKC because of the lack of experience they have. They haven't really earned their right. They earned their stripes yet. Go through their bumps and bruises. They had one playoff series they won together. 2, both in the first round. So people feel like they ain't got their lumps yet. But one thing about the OKC Thunder, their best player, SGA he had some lumps. People forget SGA was on that Clippers team when Kevin Durant was like, I'm Kevin Durant against when he went on Pat Bev and Lou Will now. He was on that Clippers team. People forget in the bubble when Chris Paul and OKC Thunder took the Rockets to 7 games. SGA was on that roster. He was on our team. And then you look at last year, him leading the league in scoring, and then getting to the playoffs. I know we try to compare the K, but Carl was like, no, it's not the same. How SGA just wasn't picking his times to take over the game. And then you come back this year and you see this out throughout the regular season, how aggressive he is throughout the game. How he sees, okay, things are slowing down. Let me get a bucket. That's his mindset. He did have 33 yesterday, but he just ran against a guy who has the opportunity to literally, people might say he's a legend now, but he can make a big case because Jokic in his first playoff run, in my opinion, people can kind of like nitpick it. Look at the people he played, right? He played against an injured Minnesota Timberwolves. He played against an injured Phoenix Suns, and he played against the Miami Heat and the Lakers. Like nobody took the Lakers seriously. Sorry, y'all. You're Lakers fan, but he played the Miami Heat. But this year, knock out the Clippers first round, who most people picked against you. You knock out OKC, the guy who picked it. It's a Jordan Carmelo moment. It's a Elijah Wan David Robinson moment. You won MVP. I'm gonna beat you and show you I'm the real MVP. And then he could possibly beat Steph Curry or Minnesota, the team who beat him last year. Whatever the team is, it's gonna be a huge accomplishment. And then possibly the Celtics out the East. Jokic, man, that game showed me like, you know what? Jokic is making a statement that he's the best player in the world, which I already agree he is. But let's see how game 2 happens, because I think OKC gonna respond, and it might not even be close.
Hold on, real quick, before you go, Dave. Remember when we were saying that Jokic might have passed Dirk already when he
Oh
got the
yeah,
ring and people called us crazy?
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't. I remember that too. I think
yeah.
wasn't Kev one of those people that said that we was
Of course
crazy?
it was, yeah,
You
because
know,
it
it's
was
cat. He
math,
a mass
it
fat,
was
but it was
math
mainly
time.
Bond and Dev. They
Yeah,
were
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
nostalgia be kicking some people's behinds. I just want to be. I say that all the time, but
that's fact. That's facts.
I don't want to. I know. This is one thing I got to comment about. You said nobody took the Lakers and the Heat seriously. The Heat, I don't want to discredit them because they did take down Tatum and the Celtics to get there. And Jimmy Butler is, we know, playoff Jimmy, things like that. But the Lakers one is where I have issue because we can't keep doing that when LeBron does things. Oh, look at LeBron. Let's elevate LeBron. But somebody beat LeBron. Well, nobody was taking them serious anyway. No, you got to give Jokic credit for that series.
no, I give him credit. I'm talking about people can nitpick it because that Lakers team was a 7 seed, number one. And look who they beat. They beat Memphis, who was hurt in the front line, and they beat Golden State Warriors, who was also a low seed that year. So like that
But
year
they
was
got
weird. The Kings were
LeBron.
the 3rd seed. Like that year was just so weird. A lot of teams were
Yeah,
hurt that whole year.
I feel
that's
you, but
true.
they got LeBron.
What?
But
They
that's
got
This
the
ain't the
it's
same
king.
the same.
LeBron.
It's the same year that two playing teams got all the way to the conference finals. So you
And
gotta.
I didn't say nobody took the Heat seriously. Like the like when the Nuggets and Heat matched in the finals, if you weren't a Heat fan, we all knew like it was the Nuggets. You know what I mean?
That's
That's why
true.
when Dave betted me, I was like, "Dave, you sure, bro?" They were like, "Yo,
Yeah,
all
you were
right."
wilding for that, by the way. But then they sweep the Nuggets. I mean, the
Who
Lakers.
they
Yeah, they
swept them?
swept the
Yeah,
Lakers.
Yeah,
So
they
not
did.
only did they beat them, they swept them with a LeBron James led Lakers.
You exactly right. Look, I'm giving Jokic credit, but I'm saying this run will be way more impressive
No,
than the
that's
run he
now
did the
that's
first time.
true.
That's all I'm
that's
Yeah,
saying.
that's true.
mhm,
I just don't want
that's
to take
true.
nothing away. And I'm not saying you. I'm just saying
Yeah,
anybody that would like to nitpick that, we can't do that. Not
facts.
for the Lakers and the Heat.
And, and to your credit, Carl, Jamal Murray did have a pretty good game. He put up 21 points in that game. The Nuggets period played well as a team. I mean, Russ got 18 off the bench in that game last night. So that was a really good. I mean, and Jokic just went crazy. I mean, he had 42 points, 22 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, Jokic just went crazy. But I also got OKC in 6. I'm with Carl. I got OKC in 6. I saw flashes last night that when OKC's defense turns up, it's almost not much you can really do because you got Caruso that can get a steal and a block on you. He not just steal, he getting blocks as well. You got J Dub and Lou Dort that's out there playing really good defense, and then you got guys like I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I'm probably saying it wrong. Is it Kaysen or Kassan Wallace?
Kassan
Casey
Wallace.
Wallace.
It's
I
Kaysen
thought it was
Wallace.
Kaysen. I
Casey.
thought it was
Yep.
Kassan.
I thought it was Casey.
I'm going with
Um,
Carl, Mister. I
Shout
know
out
he
Casey
my
went
boy
to
Wallace.
from
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
Hey, shout
exactly.
out my boy from Kentucky.
So Casey Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Isaiah Hardenstein, all these everyone on this team plays defense. That's the good thing about
Mhm.
OKC. And SGA had a game last night. He put up 33 points, but I mean, it was like Jokic was like, okay, you put up 33, I'm gonna put up 40. That's kind of how that game went last night. And then seeing the last part of that game when the two quick fouls in the fourth quarter, and then Chet going to the line and missing both free throws. I'm like, all right, this it's almost like they want to give the Nuggets the game. And I honestly don't believe that happens again with OKC. I believe because OKC more than likely closes most of their games this year. Now, the thing is the series was close in the regular season against the Nuggets. They were 2-2 in the series. So that's why I believe it's at least going to go at least 6 games because I got the Nuggets winning at least 2 games in the series because they proved in the regular season that they can compete with them. And yes, I think we got to give credit to the interim coach because without Malone, he got them past a healthy Clippers team and they stole game 1 against OKC. So I think he's doing a really good coaching job right now. You can see him. He calls timeouts at the right time. He'll make his some of his challenges aren't really questionable for real. So he's making some good challenges out there as well. And just the way the way he's subbing players in and out makes a lot of sense. And he continues to make sure that Russ gets big minutes because he's that huge spark of the bench for the Nuggets. So I want to give credit to him. And this post Malone era it seems like it's going to be pretty good for them. So shout out to them.
Yeah, like real quick with that game, Jamal Murray had a great start, but he got strapped in the second half. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
that's
He got strapped. He had one bucket on Wallace, Kassan Wallace, or Casey Wallace, but C Wallace, right? He hit
without
like a
kiss
shimmy.
on.
Yeah, Kassan, all right. He had a fadeaway on him. But Jokic was went crazy. That happened in that game. He had 18 and fourth. He had like 26 in the second half, something like that. Eric Gordon played well. All right, he played really good. But Michael Porter Jr. was bad for shooting the ball. Westbrook, like you said, Westbrook was getting a lot of like he was bailing a lot of people out.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut to the basket. And those teammates you want. When you're driving the basketball, somebody needs to cut. Because if you got nowhere to go, you need a bailout. You need somebody to dump the ball over to. But nobody's moving. You know, it makes your job harder. So Westbrook kept doing that. So I want to give Westbrook props. He does bring out energy. He beat his former team with the Clippers. He had a chance to do it this time with the OKC Thunder. So it's going to be an exciting series. We got both of the MVPs going head to head.
Do we have to? Are we going to talk about Russ against James Harden as well? Are we going to pick James Harden over Russ too?
You said pick James Harden over Russ?
All right, hold on. This is my thing, right? Before you
go ahead, Carl. Go ahead.
Before you go into this, let's just remember, and I don't want this to come off as like hate or anything, but it's the truth. James Harden, not James Harden, Russell Westbrook as the guy has never made it out the first round.
Never.
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah,
I heard someone else say, "Man, I don't want to hear James Harden or Russ." But I was like, "Whoa! At least we seen James as the guy take
James
his team to the Western Conference Finals.
Exactly.
At least we seen that."
And
Russ hasn't gotten out the first round as the guy.
Yeah, and I'm not a playoffs means everything type of guy. But when you got guys with similar resumes as Harden and Russell Westbrook, playoffs have to matter. And you not getting out the first round while shooting, I think he shot like 80 shots combined against Utah in like the last two games. And they lost to Donovan Mitchell and them, and you lost 4-1 to Dame. And quite frankly, Dame whooped you.
And they were the better team, OKC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's crazy.
I can't give it to Russ over that.
And also, I do want to say this though, Russell Westbrook, when he loses, Harden chokes. Harden is a better basketball player than Russ. He's smarter. He's a better player. So Harden should be better. It shouldn't even be a conversation for real. Westbrook, only issue is his decision making, and that's what the reason why he can't win. Harden folds though. Harden just be one thing about Westbrook, he ain't gonna fold. And I do
he gonna give effort every single game.
He's not gonna shout for the moment. And I gotta give him props for him in his press conference. Finally, for the first time I've heard, I don't know if anybody can correct me, but first time I've heard him say in the press conference that he acknowledged that it might be a turnover, it might be a steal, it might be a missed three.
That's the first time.
That's the first time I heard him say that. Like I think him saying that, it takes all the pressure off him. It's like you finally admit that you be all over the place.
You be wild. Yeah. He did it yesterday. He like got to steal and throw it right back to OKC.
But you know what's cool? It's cool. As long as you know that, it's cool. And he's not the main guy. So that's cool. So I like that he said that.
That's one of the reasons why I want Russ to be in Miami.
Accountability. I like accountability.
I know he's gonna give effort.
Yeah, accountability. Yeah, exactly. All right, accountability. All right, so on to the next.